The Fighting Irish. Shout out to and the new IBF middleweight champion of the world, McKenna. Now you already know, I love my Puerto Ricans, my Cubans, and my Mexicans, the real Mexicans like Pitbull Cruz, not the fake white boys like Canelo that sell out their fan base and go fight in Riyadh for $50 million. No! I like the real champions like Juan Manuel Marquez, Pitbull Cruz, Cesar Chavez. But now, I'm gonna add a new country to my favorites, and that is the Fighting Irish. The Irish! You know why? Because Ireland is not like the rest of Europe. Ireland and Poland really stand out if you know your politics. We're gonna break down the McKenna fight versus Oliha. I can't even pronounce his name. Etinosa Oliha. We're going to break that down, but first I got to get a little political. Ireland is nothing like the UK. Ireland is more like Polish. And in case you don't know, in case you've been living under a rock, you know what I mean, sleeping with Muhammad, in case you don't know, Europe, like 90% of Europe, has been completely Islamified by communist, leftist cocks. Europe has completely bent the knee, including the UK, France, and Germany. Completely, they opened up the borders and bent over and pulled down their panties for 15 packies. Did you just see the invasion? The invasion in Spain of like 50,000 Moroccan Muslims? You see, Europe is run by total cucks that cannot win any elections without the Muslims. Since the white man and the real citizens of the UK, France, and Germany, and Spain, and Italy, and Portugal, like 90% of Europe is all the same. Since they can't win elections by the real citizens of their country because their leftist policies are atrocious and they have completely destroyed the economy of Europe, they import, that's why you have all these Muslims in the European countries now. They import these Muslims and let them in, open up the borders completely wide like a whore in a brothel to subsidize, to make up for the votes and to steal the elections. Long story short, that's what it is, okay? But Ireland is fighting back because you see the Irish are they're not like the Brits. You know what I mean? The Irish still have that fighting spirit like America. The Irish are like kind of like Americans. They got that fighting spirit. In case you don't know, Ireland had a long history of fighting against the British Empire, trying to take their shit, and like half of Ireland is like under UK control, and the other half is like under Irish control. Excuse me. excuse me, I got the AC on too high. Hold on, people, hold on. And recently, not that I condone it or I don't condone it, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, you know, I gotta say that for legal reasons, but the Irish have been going door to door, blah, kicking the door within the 4-4. Talk about get these motherfucking moosies out of here. The Irish have been rioting, the white Irish have been rioting all over Ireland, burning down Moosie homes, burning down mosques. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just reporting the news. they have been going around grabbing niggas out of their cars, tossing them into the fucking street, stomping them out. In case you don't know, obviously you probably don't know if you live in the UK or in America or in Canada, because our news is completely, you know, run by Islamist and leftist communists. You know, it's run by the same team. So they're not going to show you, you know, the epic levels of ass whoopings that the Irish have been laying all over Ireland. And a couple months ago, when you heard the news of Trump grabbing up Greenland, I said, because I know my politics, my geopolitics, I know I could see things a mile away, right? I said, oh, you want Greenland? Trump is grabbing up Greenland? And then I looked at Greenland on a map, and Greenland is like an hour away from Ireland. And Ireland is right next to the UK. And I immediately thought, oh, well, you know, they're about to use Greenland and Ireland as a launching pad, because I predicted a long time ago that if this, you know, the Islamification of Europe continues, if they continue to steal elections and sell out the European people to, you know, Islamists, America is not about to let that go. We see Europe, we have major investments all over Europe, and we see Europe just like we see Israel, just like we see Puerto Rico and Guam and Alaska and Hawaii, you know what I mean? Venezuela and Panama, and you know what I mean? We see, you know, America is like mad possessive. America wants to control the world. And we see Europe. Europe is one of our biggest locations for investments. We have many KFCs and McDonald's and Starbucks and banking and all types of, you know, all types of investments there. We're not about to let Europe fall to Muslims. You know what I mean? We're not about to let Israel fall to Muslims. And if the leftist communists running Europe, running the UK, continue to side with the Muslims, we're going to have no choice but to invade. Yes, boots on the ground by 2032. We're going to have no choice but to go in, kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. Just like Venezuela. You know, operations, grabbing niggas up in the middle of the fucking night. You know what I mean? But the Irish are already doing that themselves. They're going around to Muslim, you know what I mean, neighborhoods and burning this shit down. And look it up, Google it, you know what I'm saying? Grabbing niggas out of fucking their cars, stomping them out. The Irish, what is it, the IRA? You know, it's like a mafia. The Irish mafia is taking back Ireland. Because these niggas are not like the UK. They will take, you know what I mean, matters into their own hands. So that's why I have put now Ireland, any fighter that comes out of Ireland, I'm going to support. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about this right here. You got Aaron McKenna becoming the new middleweight IBF champion after schooling Etinosa Oliha, I can't even pronounce his name, over 12 rounds. After the first, I saw just the highlights, but after the first 4 rounds, you could tell who the better boxer was. Aaron McKenna. The scores were 117 to 111, 116 to 112 on all the judges' scorecards. I never heard of this guy before, but you know, I looked up the highlights, and you know, his height, his reach, you know what I'm saying? He just schooled them, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna support him just because he's from Ireland. And back to the politics here, right? If the UK, Britain, right? Their next election is in 2029, right? They already had to remove Keir Starmer, the total cuck, who has destroyed their economy. He was just so bad that he had to resign in the middle of his term. Now they replaced him with Keir Starmer Jr., like the guy that was under him, like the vice president, who's just as bad, right? But their next election for prime minister in the UK is in 2029. If Reform or Restore, hopefully Restore, because Restore is like all the way far right, but Reform is on the right as well, right? If they do not win, if the left steals the election of 2029 in Great Britain, wallahi, you know how the Muslims be saying, I swear to God, we are gonna set up shop in Greenland. That's why Trump wanted Greenland, to put 3 battleships in the middle of Greenland and the UK. Stop all the shipping lanes. First, we attack you financially. You know what I mean? First is the, you know, the sanctions, the, you know what I mean, the this, the that, the sanctions, the you know, seizing your crypto, the, you know, and then the next thing you know, we put 3 battleships right in between and stop your shipping lanes, because Greenland, between Greenland and the UK, is the shipping lanes for all imports coming into Europe, especially the UK. Shut that shit fucking down, and we start talking about rigged elections. You know what I'm saying? We start talking about you're smuggling drugs. We'll just charge you with some fucking shit, just like Maduro. You know what I mean? For a reason for us to invade. I cannot wait to see U.S. troops all over London, blow, kicking the door, waving the 4-4, grabbing niggas out of masjids, dragging these niggas by their fucking beards all over the UK. We might start in Canada because it's closer. But here's the story, right? Whether it's the UK, whether it's France, Germany, Canada, Spain, Australia, all these niggas are in cahoots with the Islamists. All these niggas, you know what I mean, be talking hella trash about America, hella trash about Israel, you know what I mean? All these, they're talking about we can't use their base. Spain try to block America from using the base. Then the Keir Starmer in the UK try to block America from using Diego Garcia. Fucking backslapped fucking Keir Starmer, and we grabbed up Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia is a small little island off the coast of India. We need that for our stealth bombers. That's where they land and, you know what I mean, take off from. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't be like in the Strait of Hormuz right next to them, because they'll bomb them. You know what I mean? We need to be far away, but not too far away. But whatever. The point is that the UK, France, Germany, all these Euro cucks, Canada, Australia, you know what I mean, Italy, Spain, they be disrespecting America. They be disrespecting America. And we can't allow the disrespect for too much longer. If they steal the next election, meaning that they plan to continue this communist leftist rule in Europe, we're gonna have to send in the fucking troops. And we're gonna, you know what I mean, we're gonna get buddy with Ireland. We're gonna use Greenland and Ireland as our launching pad. You know what I'm saying? The first one that we're gonna go into is Ireland, not to invade them, but, you know what I mean, to replace their whole leadership. We're gonna replace their leadership with a far-right leadership that is friendly to America, and we're gonna cut off Ireland from the UK. And the UK ain't gonna do shit when they complain. We're gonna just press charges on them, you know what I mean, of harboring terrorists. The majority of terrorists are coming from the UK. The majority of these, there's tons of Hezbollah and Houthis and all these fuck niggas all over the UK. And they be doing all these podcasts talking hella trash. So we're gonna get friendly with Ireland. That's why, you know what I mean, I like Irish people now, and because they're fighting back, and because, you know, they got a fighting spirit. So we're gonna use Ireland. We're gonna replace they're the first ones. We're gonna replace their, you know what I mean, leftist communist leadership. We're gonna replace their leftist communist leadership. We're gonna you know, reload all their bases, give them mad arms, give them mad boats, mad ships, mad helicopters. You know what I mean? Set up our troops right there in Ireland, and, you know what I mean, prepare that real well. And from Ireland to the UK, it's like a 15-minute plane ride. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have to go in ice style, like the ice raids you see in America. You're gonna see those ice raids all over the UK. First, we're gonna clean up Ireland, which is gonna be easy because we're gonna get their leadership to help us. You know what I'm saying? But the UK don't want to help us. We're gonna have to go in there by force. We're gonna have to force ourselves into the UK, into France, into Germany. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have to remove these leftist communists by force, just like Maduro. Just like Maduro. Just like the whole Maduro going, I mean, we told him 3 months before, we told him, yo, my nigga, you need to lay down. You know what I'm saying? You're having too many fucking arms smuggled from China. We're not having none of this. You're smuggling fentanyl from China into America. We see everything, nigga. We got like a ton of fucking satellites. And we gave that nigga 3 months. But he didn't want to lay down. We had to go in, grab his nigga up in the middle of the fucking night and replace his whole government. That's what we might have to do in the UK, France, and Germany, Canada, Australia. Because these leftist communists, it doesn't seem like they want any type of compromise. They're not serving their people, you know what I mean? And they're replacing the Europeans with Muslims. There's a terrorist attack in Europe, in the UK, France, and Germany every single week. We cannot allow this to continue. They're destroying our investments in the UK, France, and Germany, and instability is not good for our fucking money. So for many, many, many reasons, we're gonna have to go in there, you know what I mean, by force, like Maduro style. I see this a mile away, and as soon as I saw Trump grab up Greenland, I said, oh, because I know how this nigga operate, you know what I'm saying? I know how this nigga operates, son. As soon as he grabbed up Greenland, I said, oh, Ireland is next. Ireland is next. Ireland is next, and we're going to use Ireland as a springboard, as a launching pad. That's going to be our headquarters for total ass whoopings of all of Europe and Poland. So we need to find 2 allies, right, in Europe. And one is going to be Ireland all the way on the Atlantic Ocean, and then and then Poland in the middle. You know what I mean? The location matters. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be strategic. You know what I mean? You know, like military strategists, they see where the locations is at. They're like, oh, Poland is friendly to America. Ireland is friendly to America. We're gonna use these 2 guys, and we're gonna just sandwich them, because Ireland is on the right and Poland is on the left on the map. You know what I'm saying? And the UK, France, and Germany are in the middle, and we're just gonna squeeze these niggas. We're gonna squeeze these niggas financially. We're gonna squeeze these niggas technologically. We're gonna shut down their fucking oil, shut down their import, shut down their food, shut down everything. And then, once they're weak, blah, send in the fucking troops with big ass American guns. And we're gonna remove and replace their entire government. We might even replace the king. Hashtag no lie. Just like Maduro. Just like Panama, that you didn't even hear nothing about Panama in the news, but we did the same thing in Panama. We're about to do the same thing in Cuba. When we're done, we're gonna do the same thing in Iran. You know what I mean? We have interests. You cannot go against American interests, or you're gonna get fucked up. And that's why Ireland is key, because Ireland is friendly towards America, and we're gonna use them as a launching pad. We're gonna build a massive, massive American military base in Ireland. So shout out to all my Irish people. The Irish, the fighting Irish, they're not about to lay down like the Brits. The Brits have completely fucking laid out. Have you seen the fucking Brits, the Australians, the Canadians, the French talking about diversity? We need Muslims to keep up our economy. Have you seen these fucking ridiculous communists? Pathetic. But don't you fear, Irishman? America is coming to rescue you. Hashtag no lie. Shout out to McKenna becoming the new champion.